What's up everybody? In this video we'll talk about Solana. Again, Solana looking a little bit more bullish, at least when I made the analysis and the thumbnail. Now it's already dropped down a little bit more, but it's still we can say quite some things about it. We'll also talk about the fundamentals. Obviously the whole aftermath of FTX and what that means for Solana a little bit. We will not get into depth about that, but because I have already done so quite often in these videos, but we will take a look at it because yeah, I quite like Solana. It's weird to say, but I like it even more now that it has fallen quite a bit, because I've never been that big of a fan of Solana, and I'll also get started, but I have not been that big of a fan of Solana, but it was doing great things fundamentally. It really was. So it's tough to see it fall like that, and well, yeah, you know, there are some voices in my head, of all the voices in my head. No, that's they're saying that this might be a good area to buy, but yeah, in the end, fundamentals are still not looking amazing. So let's get into it. Volume is pretty stable. It's low, but it's stable at 7.5% of the market cap. That's decent, but the market cap has fallen a lot. So compared to the old market cap, this is pretty low. This is also the lowest volume we've had, apart from one other day in the last year. But it's weekend. Market is very fearful around Solana especially, so that's not looking amazing. But now let's zoom in. So what we can see in terms of the price is that, well, yeah, you can see that we have already dropped down, because when I made the analysis, I was still pretty hopeful. There's still some possibilities, as you can see, but I was hopeful that we could stay on top of like 12.9. You could see that that's, let's zoom in a little bit more. You can see that that's a key level. I thought if we can stay on top of that, we might be able to break out of this downtrend, which is very clear as well. A downtrend with this trend line, but also the resistance level around 13.5. So right now we have fallen already a little bit more together with the market. Like the main reason why Solana is this bearish, most of you know, is because of the fallout of FTX. They owned a lot of sell tokens, so that means a lot of supply, not enough demand, means the token crashes. Apart from that, what also happened is that the Solana ecosystem was hit, the DeFi ecosystem around it, and that's still hit quite hard. It's not back at those same levels. So realistically, the intrinsic value that Solana had is just lower, which is a shame, but it's the truth. It's reality, right? So now we have to argue if like $13 is the intrinsic value. I don't think so. I still think it should be higher value than this, and I also think we can recover, but before we recover we might need to drop down even more. So right now what you can see purely technically is that we have this support forming, kind of making higher lows here around, well, our support level right now would be 12.75, and you have a resistance coming on top of us at first 13.5, but it's very quickly closing in. So what's going to happen is that the volume is going to increase most likely either tonight or tomorrow morning, and we're either going to break above, let's say 13.25, this minor resistance level, challenge 13.75, but then in general that would be quite bullish, and I think we can see something like this then in the upcoming week. But on the other hand, what could also happen, and it's hard for me to really judge that, and it's hard for me to predict that, and hopefully you understand. Because it's just going to be a bullish breakout or a bearish breakout, because what could also happen, and this looks to be the most likely scenario right now, to be honest, is that we will find some support at 12.75, but that it will break, and that either tonight or tomorrow morning will drop down all the way to this level here between 12 and 12.3. And then from there, I do think that level would hold. We might spike down a little bit lower, but I think in general the level will hold, and that we will consolidate and try to break out of that downtrend again. But I'm updating Solana daily now, so I'll cover that in a new video. But for now, that's really it. Tonight or tomorrow morning, or yeah, tonight or tomorrow morning, we'll see one of those two things. Largely depending, it's now largely depending on what like Bitcoin does. I think if Bitcoin can actually get to 17,000, I think this is going to happen. Something like this at least, like at least the initial part. If Bitcoin keeps being bearish around like 16,600. This looks more likely just because of the really strong bearish fundamentals around Solana specifically. So that's my take on Solana this morning. If you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments. But for now, take care. Have a great Sunday and bye.